codestrap's last video is coming out tomorrow. A lot of people have been messaging me, asking me what's going on with codestrap. Is he working for Palantir? All this type of stuff. The truth will be revealed tomorrow, I think at 10 a.m. Eastern. So he has a final video coming out. From my personal conversations with him, it does look like this will be his last video, at least for a long time. Maybe that changes, but it's going to be an end to his presence on social media, at least in the YouTube content space, because the reason tomorrow will explain why it kind of has to end. So yeah, he's not going to be that active on social media anymore, at least in the Palantir community. He made a video a couple of days ago, kind of just saying that it's about to end soon. I guess let's do 5 minutes, 6 minutes on kind of what codestrap has meant to you in the community itself, and then we can go from there. Matt, you can start first.
Sure. I think it's just a natural fit. I mean, I'm not surprised. I saw the video and I thought it was a really cool video. The rock theme.
He has a creative juice in him when it comes to editing. Like,
but that's the thing is, like, you think that that's just a creative juice of, like, say, editing, but that's just kind of the creative juice that flows at Palantir. Like, if you've ever met any of these employees, they have just this difference about them, just like codestrap does. And so, like, it makes sense if he announces tomorrow, which I'm anticipating he's going to get a job at Palantir. I think he's the type of personality that's quiet, listens, is very intelligent, but not like over, I guess, boastful about it. But at the same time, is all very community driven. Like, he has all the key values of somebody that is great within Palantir. And I think one thing that I think we should take away from his video is we see somebody as intelligent and has had the opportunity to test on a multitude of different levels, different products over the past year or so, and has been in the industry for such a long time. For him to go now to leave our, I guess, immediate retail investor community, but be still part of, obviously, the Palantir community, is a huge testament and gives me confidence, as I've always had, in what Palantir truly shows, which is it's a movement. It's not a stock, right? I mean, we talk about it from a financial standpoint, but to me, it's been a movement. To me, it's been since 2017, 2018, since I first used it, and have seen the continuation of this with codestrap, obviously being that next brick in the wall to be like, dude, like my conviction is here, right? The share price just needs to catch up, and it will. And I'm confident by the things that I continue to see, the contracts we're talking about today, contracts we've been talking about over the past year, codestrap, that familiarity and things that I have confidence in, like it continues to grow stronger because of everything that I continue to see and know that the company is capable of doing.
Yeah, I would say to codestrap, thank you for being our Sandy Monroe. Like, Tesla is what it is today because of Elon Musk and all that stuff. But the Tesla retail community benefited tremendously from Sandy Monroe because Sandy Monroe had the industry experience. He looked at the cars. He really brought to life what the value proposition of Tesla was. And the early people who listened to him really benefited tremendously when Tesla eventually blew up. Right? Because everything was confirmed. Everything that Sandy was saying was confirmed. And it's the same thing with codestrap. He's been in the industry long enough to the point where we can safely say that this guy's not talking out of his ass. Like, he knows what he's talking about. My personal take on codestrap is I loved him for his ability to cut through the bullshit. Like, if you were wrong, he would tell you were wrong. If you were right, he would say, yes, you were right. He didn't mince words on things, and I think that's something that Palantir needed because, they've always been known as the shadowy figure that works in mysterious ways, whereas Palantir's, like X, Y, and Z, and people are still trying to figure out. And codestrap brought some of that energy, like, no, let me explain to you what the value proposition is that other people are not seeing, right? And yeah, I thank him for all those things because I feel like there's still a lot to learn about Palantir, even from my perspective. But codestrap was one of the few people who really, like, being an industry insider, was able to grasp that knowledge and simplify and dumb it down a little bit for us. And I think everyone is still always going to be a little bit lost on Palantir. I don't think you could 100% ever figure them out. And maybe that's just who they are and how they operate. But I thank him for all his contributions, man. And I'm going to miss our interactions because I know he's going to be very limited in what he can say. Because at this point, it might be some knowledge that he's not supposed to let out. So, and that's probably why he's making the changes that he needs to from a personality on YouTube perspective. But I would say I'm happy that he's going to where he's going. And I think he's going to do wonders for Palantir because he's involved in still going to be involved in developing the product and and doing other things with it. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag what it is. I do know. I don't know if Matt, you know where he's going. No, okay, we'll tell you after the stream. But let's just say one of us is going to be on the inside of things. Putting the things together that is necessary for Palantir to become its true potential. And hopefully Palantir's community is as accepting of him and his ideas to say, what we've been doing may have been working, but if we adopt this strategy that this guy who's obviously got a lot of experience, we might be able to grow faster. And those tangible results are going to benefit us all. So thanks for being our Sandy Monroe. Sorry to see you leave. I'm sure that you're going to be joining us with a burner account and you're going to be watching us,
It'll
and
be strap code 473.
all I want to know is Midwest Cannabis Alex Karp, because I'm telling
Oh my gosh.
I am not going to let go of that theory. Okay. I think Midwest Cannabis is Alex Karp. He's been, Midwest Cannabis, I'm telling you, bro. And Sham is that other guy. Remember what's his name that used to go on every single video and he used Doom Shallot. Yeah,
he was in the SoFi Weekly yesterday. He was there. He was like, "Hey, SoFi Weekly, but Palantir to the moon." I was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Yeah.
My personal thing for codestrap is I am so thankful that he was willing to engage with the retail community. I mean, not a lot of people have to do that, right? Especially people of his caliber. He's very busy. He understands the tech really well, but he was just willing to come on my podcast for the first time in February 2022. And for an hour, 30 minutes, he spent time with me breaking it all down. He went on every Palantir YouTube. I think Jay was the first one who really brought him on YouTube. And he was willing to just talk to us and really answer our dumb questions, which to him, it was never dumb, but for us, we're like, so what is ontology? And, and he never tried to belittle you when you asked that question. He tried to take the question and really give you example after example after example. And even if we still didn't get it after those examples, he really tried to get you to realize what the potential of this is and why this matters. The other thing I'm really grateful for is he never focused on the stock or the financial side of it. I mean, he cares about the stock. He wants it to go up like all of us, but he always talked about the greater picture. I personally love covering Palantir because, as you said, Matt, not only is it a movement, but it's a philosophy. And I'm a big philosophy junkie. So when Alex Karp talks about civil liberties and Western democracy, all that stuff matters to me. CodeStrap really cares about that stuff as well. So he's able to articulate. I remember we did a podcast for we went until 1 a.m. and he pulled up, or Chris, you pulled up Scalia and him talking from the Supreme Court. And CodeStrap was able to analyze why those certain things he's talking about are applicable in terms of the infrastructure of the literal tech that Palantir has built to embody those philosophies that mean so much to us as Americans and, just protecting Western democracy. And then because he was able to talk about the tech and the philosophy at the same time, you have this gem of a person that can really analyze the value proposition of this company, which for us as retail, investors allows us to be like, all right, based on hearing this guy, I'm going to make a decision now. And it's one of the best guys you could listen to decide for your personal, capital where you want to allocate it. So yeah, thank you to everything CodeStrap. Also, in my personal life, I have a startup. I'm starting up a bunch of things. He's given me countless amounts of advice because he's been working with startups for 10, 15 years now. So it means a lot. Thank you for being here. And we hope to see you in the burner account eventually.
The burner account. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, a lot of what you described is a lot of the experience that I had with 4 development engineers with Palantir. They're willing to break things down. They're not going to call you stupid. They're going to say, oh, I'm here to help you no matter what. I'm here for the purpose. They don't care about the stock price. Every time I'd ask people, because at the time I started working with a lot of these guys, everything was private. And I'd always ask them, I'd be like, how much stock you got? What are we talking? And they're like, it's not important, man. They would just shrug it off, and they all knew that they were probably sitting on pretty good compensation, as we've seen from the SBC that gets distributed every quarter, right? So At the end of the day, if you want to know what a typical employee of Palantir that I've interacted with is like, it's a lot of people that are like codestrap. And if you think and you like the way that he operates as a person, personally, from a I guess company mindset sort of perspective, then that should give you an inkling that Palantir is on the same sort of echelon of people that they hire. And yeah, it'll be sad that we won't be able to pick his brain anymore.
I've got a secret master plan. I'm going to let him get in the inside a little bit, give him like 9-10 months, whatever. Then just be like, hey, man, do you want to hang out one time? And just get him pissed drunk and just get all the fucking juicy information about Palantir. Just extract it out of him. You know,
so what does Alex Carb's hair smell like?
I'm gonna get his favorite bourbon and just ply him with bourbon because he loves bourbon. So I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna learn everything I need to learn about Palantir.
And then Chris might buy one share after that night.
One share.
Yeah.